this is Chuck from Monocoque Metalworks. Today we are putting in the rear lower bulkhead panels, kind of sealing that up. A couple days ago I was showing you how we put this little brace in here, and this is a little tricky. It takes a long time to line this stuff up, and I thought I'd give you guys a few little secret tips here. So right here is that piece that we put in. You can see we've got our heavy duty tubing in here. That's part of our hidden subframe. And then we've got the stiffener up here. And I'm now putting on these pieces that I call the seat dish. You can see they've been heavily primed in the back. That's all been primed. And then this silvery stuff is zinc weld through primer. So that's just gonna go on there like that. Well, I've already started putting this side together. And I've started putting this centerpiece in. We make all of this here. This centerpiece gets stitched around here. But then here, what I do is I just trim this existing piece off just a little bit below the curve. And then I'll run a stitch all the way across here. And then I'll just come in with a sanding disc and kind of smooth it down. It ends up looking like all one piece of metal. Again, you don't have to go berserk in here because this stuff all gets covered up with sound deadening, carpet, that Dynamat stuff. So I tend to get a little carried away again because our finished product is a shell-in primer. It needs to look nice, but you don't have to make this, you know, a work of art in here. So with the seat dish, you can see what I've done is one of my favorite ways to do things. I'll put in 1/4-inch holes here for plug welding, and then I use these little self-drilling screws with a hex head. And see, you get one of these. This is the greatest tool of all time. You put these on here, and then you just drill them in like that. That pulls this all up nicely. And then what it also does is when you take the screw out, you end up with an 1/8-inch hole inside of your 1/4-inch plug welding hole. Now, at first, years ago, when I started doing this, I only put in a few screws because I didn't like that 1/8-inch hole in there. I felt like it was going to be weaker. What I found out over the years is it's actually stronger. What you're going to do is come in here with the MIG. I don't know how much you can zoom in, but I'm going to fill in the, oh, see, it always does that when you touch. I'm going to fill in that little 1/8-inch hole first, and then I'm going to spiral out and fill in the 1/4-inch hole. So that is kind of like the ultimate in penetration. You can see I put these tacks back here. What that does, this really wants to come down. So after I put all these screws in, I put a little tack in between all of them. That keeps this up. Otherwise, when you pull the screws out, it wants to droop down. So I put those tacks in there. This is actually how I do the side rear wing repairs too, and you've probably seen that in other videos. So now I'm going to go ahead and come through. You see, I've undone every other one. I'll do a couple of these. I don't know how well this will turn out. I bent my little wire here. All right. All right. So let me tell you, the penetration on that is incredible because I'm filling in that little 1/8-inch hole first, and then I'm spiraling out and getting this whole thing. These actually turned out pretty well. I was going quick. See that one right there? Didn't quite get it. So I'll come back and run over that again. And then you see there's more plug welds here. Again, I can't, you're doing these cars out of order now. So you can't reach in with the spot welder and do everything. And sometimes you got to use these plug welds. So I got a lot of these to do, and that's what I'll be doing for the rest of the afternoon is pulling these screws out and welding these up, and that'll get this whole rear bulkhead sealed in. Thanks for watching.